Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mogi Beth, and for those of y'all who are new here, I own a six-figure reselling business selling women's clothing online on places like Poshmark, eBay, Tradesy, and Mercari. And if y'all are brand new to Poshmark, you should use my code MOGIBeth when you sign up on the app, and you'll get $10 off your first purchase. And just in case y'all aren't aware, we do create resources and courses and tools for reselling over on our website mogibeth.com, so be sure to go check that out. In today's video, we are doing a thrift with me and thrift haul. It did not go as planned in both good and bad ways. The bad way is, you'll hear me say in a second when I'm sitting in the car about to go into the thrift store, that I'm going to show you what I passed on. And I wasn't able to do that, and I'll explain why later on in the video. But I did find, oh my gosh, perhaps some of my best thrift finds ever in this thrift haul. Maybe this is my best thrift haul ever, I don't know. It's certainly my most favorite in a very long time, if not ever, because it has my favorite designer that I've never found at the thrift before up until now. So I'm so excited to show y'all the haul later on in this video. But before we do that, we're gonna jump back in time to when I was at Goodwill, and I'm gonna bring y'all along with me as I thrift. So let's go ahead and jump back in time. Hey y'all, I am sitting in the parking lot of this Goodwill, about to head inside. I want to do something a little bit different in this thrift with me. I actually have my camera this time. I usually film everything on my phone, but I want to show the items that I pass on in this haul and show, you know, the decision making behind that. And that's something that I think y'all have asked for before in the comment section, so hopefully this will be a good insight into not only what I'm picking up, because of course we will be doing the haul portion as well, but also what I'm passing on. So I brought my camera in. I'm gonna like attach it to my cart with a little tripod, this little gadget right here. It's like bendy, and so I will show y'all, hold up the different items that I'm passing on, and you can see what I left behind as well. So without further ado, hopefully we find some good stuff. It's been a while since I was actually at this Goodwill. I'm so excited to see what I find. I will say though here, if you want more information about the decision making behind what I choose to pick up and why, I would definitely recommend you check the course out. It's on mogibeth.com, because I go into specifics on the different criterion that I use in my decision making. So I'm not going to get into too much detail in this, but I do want to give examples of the type of inventory that I'm passing on, because I typically skip over that in these thrift with me's, and there is a lot of stuff I come across that's an almost maybe, but then I ultimately end up leaving it behind, and those are things that you guys don't see. So hopefully this video will be helpful. Okay, I'm excited to jump inside. Let's go. Hopefully they don't say anything about having a camera attached to my cart, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Okay, this S13 parka is the first piece I've put in my cart from the coat section, and I'll go into more detail later on in the haul about why I decided to pick that up. But I want to, in this voiceover section, talk to y'all a little bit more about why I pass on the things I do, because I feel like that is the number one comment I kind of get in the comment section. So how I make my decisions when it comes to sourcing is there are categories, brands, and kind of just areas in the industry that I focus on more than others. I don't really focus on outdoors wear very much. I don't really focus on lag and look or more mature brands, although those brands, those categories can do really well. They're just not within my business model, and I think that's really important because you can't be
excellent at all things, right? I think it's something that I focus on my course a lot, is just really specializing and really leaning into researching and understand one specific sector of the fashion industry and finding and understanding your customer base within that. And so that's really why you see me pass on things like Not Your Daughter's Jeans, or this right there was a really good vintage brand that I knew about, but I don't sell vintage, so I decided to pass on that as well. And so when you see me pass on something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you too should pass on it. It just means you should ask yourself, does this fit within my business model? And I'm going to link up on the screen the first module of our course that we shared on YouTube that talks about the 3 business models within reselling. And I think that will be a good guide if you are still trying to formulate your business model and still need to kind of figure out what that is. But of course, there are rules of thumb that apply to all resellers, because there are categories, items, brands that don't have any resale value or very little resale value. And so therefore, no matter what your business model is, it's not going to sell. And a lot of these dresses that I'm coming across now kind of fit that category. So you'll see Target brands, Kohl's brands, no brand dresses that are just, who knows, manufactured somewhere. A lot of these brands are old, or they're just fast fashion brands. And so I skip those entirely. In fact, there's a large row of them here. And Fabletics I just passed on. As you can see there, Fabletics is a brand that can do well in certain categories, but I tend to really just stick with leggings with Fabletics. But it's about this time of year that I really start to make sure I'm picking up more dresses, because spring and summer dresses sell better. Okay, here is a J. Crew dress that I came across, and that is the new J. Crew label. 2 reasons I didn't pick it up. Number 1, condition. It looked like it had been just washed too many times. Number 2, style. I have found that chambray pieces just really aren't selling very quickly for me anymore, and I don't really think chambray is in for a lot of people. So unless it's a truly spectacular piece, I tend to pass on chambray. This is actually a Fashion Nova matching set, which I thought was interesting, but Fashion Nova is a fast fashion brand, doesn't retail for a lot of money, doesn't have a very high resale value. Okay, I'll show y'all that dress later on in the haul. It was a really good one. Okay, here's a good example of something I would pass on. It is Current Elliott, which can be a good brand, but there are 2 reasons why I passed on it. Number 1, it's just an older style. You can tell by the tag. If that cloth tag was the older tag, they have a newer tag, which I think I have shown y'all in a previous haul. And then also the zippers on the jeans, that's just a really outdated style that you don't see much anymore. So I passed. And these are another one, Adriana Goldschmied, a good brand, and that was actually a good style. A skinny jean can do really well in that brand, but it was a low-rise jean, which does not do well for me right now, so I decided to pass on that. I also don't sell American Eagle, I don't sell Loft, I don't sell Gap, and again, these are brands that can do well if you know them, if you know what categories and what styles within them sell. But that's another thing that I really focus on in my course, is if you're going to sell certain mall brands, which I do, I sell Zara, I sell Anthropologie and Free People and Madewell, then you really need to do your research on those brands, and you need to do that research regularly. And that's something that I go into more depth on again in my course. But even within the brands that you know, you need to do research within. Okay, I'm just going to start naming the brands I'm coming across and then just giving a quick yes or no. Nick and Zoe can be a yes, actually, with some pieces, and I'm actually surprised I didn't kind of stop and look that one over, but it is a more mature brand and I don't typically tend to specialize in it. Old Navy is a no for me. It just typically doesn't have a very high resale value. Eddie Bauer, again, a no. That's an older cabbie tag, a no. I very rarely pick up cabbie, and definitely the older tag is a no. Okay, here I'm coming across Eileen Fisher, and Eileen Fisher I just love. And there are certain pieces, of course, I pass on. Older pieces, certain styles within that brand just don't perform well, but I wanted to try that one out. Okay, Maurice's, no, definitely not. I've never even tried to sell Maurice's. Okay, Zara, like I just mentioned previously, I do like selling the Zara, especially the more trend-centric pieces that a lot of bloggers wear. That piece looked a little bit too worn, and also in my research, I found that graphic sweatshirts and tees from Zara typically don't really perform that great. We the Free is a line within Free People. That one I just passed on. That is a really old style and one that just had a lot of wear, so I didn't even consider it. But in a second, you're going to see my cart. It's full, it's overflowing, and I check comps on every single one of those pieces. I put a lot back. I think that's the most important step as a reseller. It really helps you learn about what's doing well, what's not, and it prevents you from wasting money.
Okay, well, I was, first of all, maybe the best thrift trip ever, like in my recent career. I found 2 amazing things. I cannot wait to show you. I can't believe I found them. And then a bunch of other really good stuff. So, I'm so excited to show y'all in the haul. But when I was filming the portion, right when I started filming the portion where I was like going through it and showing y'all what I passed on, I was using this camera on the cart, and the manager came up to me and was like, basically chewed me out and told me to stop filming. So, I mean, she didn't chew me out. She was just very sternly telling me, you're not allowed to film in here. So that ended that. I was just really glad they didn't throw me out, because I was like, I need to buy this stuff. I didn't say that. I was just like, okay, I'll put it away. I'm sorry. So I don't know if I'll ever do that again. I don't know if I'll ever try to do that again. I don't know if I'll ever bring this camera into a Goodwill again, at least in the recent future. But generally when I use my phone, they don't say anything. And I was using my phone like the whole time when I was in there, just filming and going through racks, which I'm sure y'all saw, and they didn't say anything. So if you're planning on creating thrifted content, at least in the Portland area, something to make note of. I think maybe it was just this manager, the store. She told me I could reach out to the corporate offices if I wanted to film. I don't know. Oh yeah, and I was planning on going to 2 Goodwills, but I just found those 2 really good things in the thrift store, so I knew someone had donated, you know, had a really good donation, like basically a high-end designer donation. And so I wanted to scour the entire thrift store to find more, but really I didn't find much more, which was kind of disappointing. But you know what? Who cares? So I just stayed and looked through everything at this Goodwill instead of going on to my second one, because as y'all know, I usually just focus on a few categories and then move on. But this one I went through, you know, tops, and I went through all the athletic wear, I went blazers, everything. So yes, all right. Oh, skirts. Like, I never go through skirts, so I'm still so happy. Oh, I found my favorite brand ever, and I've never ever thrifted it, and it was $6.99. Like, I cannot believe it. I'll show y'all in the haul. But okay, I'm gonna go home, get this stuff processed, and then show y'all the haul. Okay, good night. All right, y'all, now time for the haul. And as I mentioned in the car when I was leaving the thrift store, I found 2 pieces in particular that I thought were just absolutely amazing, things I'd never found before. And so I want to start the haul with one of those pieces and then end the haul with the other piece. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's start. Okay, the first one is this pair of shoes. Okay, any guesses as to what it is? I thought they were really high quality. You can tell just by the leather and by this brown, really, I mean, this detail, this just level of detail. So I pulled them out, and lo and behold, oh, they are Proenza Schooler. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can show you the inside. This is Proenza and Schooler over there. Anyways, these I think are from 2013 or 2014. They're these just woven sandals that are just so cute. They're size 36, which is a US 6. And these shoes retailed for $1,295, which is insane. Definitely the most expensive pair of shoes I've ever thrifted. I've never thrifted Prince Schooler before, so that was really exciting. I could send those into the rail, but I think I want to try selling them myself first. I'll definitely make more money if I do that. And I think there is a market for those pair of shoes on Poshmark, or eBay, so we'll wait and see. But anyways, I found 2 other pairs of shoes. The next being these are Corkies. I'll show y'all. These are actually Corks by Corkies, so you can see there, maybe, hopefully. The outsole also just says Corks all over them, so it's actually pretty easy to identify these. And these are the Kaylee sandal. I really like selling this brand, and I usually pick it up whenever I find it for a good price and in good condition. These have, you know, obviously some light wear on the outer sole and some light wear on the inner sole, but are in otherwise really excellent condition. Still have a lot of life left. So I was excited to try these out, especially as we approach spring. And then I wanted to try out this brand, which is one that I don't have too much experience with. I've sold it on occasion, and it is Patricia Nash. And this is a designer who really specializes in different leather products, mainly bags and belts, but shoes as well. And so these are just a pair of metallic tassel loafer flats. And as you can see, there's really minimal wear on the outer sole, and really no signs of wear on the upper or even the inner sole. So there weren't too many comps available on these, but I wanted to give them a try and see how they did. They're a size 9, I believe. Yeah. So I know some resellers really like selling Patricia Nash, so I thought I would give it a go, and they weren't priced too high, so that's good. I think the bad thing about this location is, the manager was really upset that I was filming. That's never happened to me before. But then the good thing was that they had so many good things and nothing was really marked up. So, I mean, I'll take the latter for the former any day. You know what I mean? Okay, next, an accessory. I try my best to go through the hat section every single time. Typically not a lot of hats, and it's pretty easy to go through. One really good hat brand that I shared on my Instagram stories like a year ago is A Lack of Color. If y'all don't know that brand, it's on my 50 BOLO brand list. And if you haven't accessed that, definitely click on that link in the description below. It's free. And I think it's a good resource for resellers. But this is not A Lack of Color. This is a Madewell hat. But it was brand new with tags. And I think it's so cute. It's really kind of got this darker brown straw woven material. And then it has this nice pink ribbon. And I really like these 2 colors together. And if this fit my head, I would keep it. But my head is way too big. So it does not fit. It is a small medium. So they actually do have different sizes. It's not a one size fits all, which I appreciate because one size fits all rarely fits my head. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that does. And I think it's just darling. And I was excited to find a new with tags Madewell hat just randomly sitting in the hat section. So don't skip on the hat section. Okay. There are other really good hat BOLO brands to know. Free People makes hats that do well on Poshmark. There's a brand called Wyeth. There's a bunch of different hat brands. I mean, that's a category in and of itself that you could really specialize in. But okay, so next is a piece I've actually sold before. This is a Madewell size 4 velvet snap button front little mini skirt. I've sold this in a larger size before, and this one is in excellent condition with no signs of wear. So I thought, hey, it'd be really easy to list. I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. It's been proven to perform fairly well for me before. And as I mentioned in the car, I typically don't go through every section of the thrift store. So the reason I even have skirts in this haul is because after I found those Princess Schooler shoes and the other piece I'll share with y'all later, I was like, okay, someone donated a ton of really good stuff at this thrift store, and I need to find it. So I went through every single section, including the skirts. And I did find some skirts. I did find a pair of pajamas that I wouldn't have otherwise found. So I'm not upset with that. Usually I would have headed on over to another thrift store, but typically I would skip the skirt section, I would skip the blouse section, etc. But it's okay. I'm happy to have some skirts in my closet. This is Rachel Parcell. This is the older Rachel Parcell tag. And this is a size large, but I thought this skirt was so darling. It's this floral organza fabric with a peplum pencil skirt, black overlay with this tan underlay. Very, very sophisticated, feminine, cute. And that's really kind of the whole Rachel Parcell brand. It's really kind of aligned with Gal Meets Glam. It's by the blogger Rachel Parcell. So I thought, hey, this piece I think will do well after I checked comps. It appeared to be the case, so I thought I'd go ahead and try it out. I think especially with those types of blogger pieces, sometimes the older pieces can actually do quite well, especially if they're still are on trend for a certain type of aesthetic, and I think that piece fits the bill. So yeah, we'll see how it does. Okay, so this is a brand I rarely pick up, but I've actually been having some luck with it recently, so I thought I'd try it out. And this actually was new with tags. It's by another blogger, actually, Cupcakes and Cashmere, which was originally from the blog Cupcakes and Cashmere. And this brand is actually sold on places like Shopbop and Revolve. This is a pair of shorts, size 2, and they had this lace-up detail and pleating detail. They're high-rise black shorts. They weren't priced high, and they were sold on Revolve and Shopbop. So I thought I'd give it a go, and comps looked okay as well. So I thought it would be good to try out this, especially with the season we're going into. Okay, this is another brand 3x1. Ignore this, I'm gonna actually throw these in the wash and this should come out. But brand 3x1 that is sold also places like Shopbop, and this particular pair was sold on Anthropology. These are a high-rise yellow straight leg jean, and they are size 27. I wanted to try these out. Typically with reselling, colored denim doesn't do that well, and I wouldn't recommend going out and picking up a ton of colored denim. But with this particular pair, I thought they were just really cute in excellent, like virtually unworn condition, a high rise, and also just going into, again, spring, I thought, hey, this would be a good piece to pick up and incorporate into my closet. Last time when I sold 3x1, it sold really quickly, so I wanted to see how this one would do. I think it was priced low enough that I was willing to experiment with it, so fingers are crossed. I think it's cute. We'll see. Because of course you want to check comps on everything that you're going to buy. Checking comps is a way to mitigate risk, right? But oftentimes that information isn't available. So there is a certain level of risk taking that is involved when you're sourcing, and you have to just be willing to take little risks here and there. Certainly not for everything, but things that your research has led you to believe might perform well. Okay, the next piece is a piece I really wasn't thinking I would pick up after checking comps because of the style, but then I checked comps and they did really well. So this is a pair of Free People pants, size small, and this is a pair of printed culottes. And comps looked great for these, so I decided, okay, let's go ahead and pick these up. And I think these actually would be great for 2021, as we're still, many of us, in quarantine. These are a great pair of loungewear. They're so soft. They're loungewear that you can wear out of the house and still look like put together if you need to. Free People is just one of those brands that used to perform really, really well, and now is just becoming overly saturated, especially older pieces. And this really is an older piece, so I wasn't really thinking I was going to pick it up, but always check comps. Always check comps. Okay. However, one category I've been having a lot of luck lately with, and it was probably, in December because of the holidays, but I think it will continue into this year as well, is sleepwear. And so when I came across this matching pajama set, brand new with tags, that is so cute. It's got this like celestial print all over it in metallic gold. I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna pick this up, especially for the price it was priced at. This is Soma, and Soma is a sleepwear brand that does well. I think with sleepwear, a lot of times people will pay a premium for new tags. They like to, you know, sleep in brand new pajamas. So especially the fact that it was new tags and a size large, I was really, really happy with. And Soma, again, is a brand that doesn't retail for too much, but I think especially new tag, it will retain its value really, really well. And so I was very happy to find this. I typically won't pick up sleepwear or pajamas unless I have a matching set, but when I do, I hop on it. Some other brands I've had some really good luck with recently are PJ Salvage, Eberge. I love that brand for myself personally as well. Hapinel even is a good sleepwear brand. There are just so many, and you know, I could do a video on that if y'all would like, but when you find a matching set of sleepwear that is in excellent condition, I think it's worth looking up. Okay, this is a brand that I think I had seen just shopping before, but I had never sold. I've never picked it up. And y'all saw me find this coat on my Thrift With Me portion. This is a brand S13, and it's a brand that's sold at places like Nordstrom, Macy's, etc. And comps on Poshmark are all over the place. Like some of these coats sell for $200, some of them sell for $20. But this coat in particular is just in such excellent condition. It's basically brand new condition. It has this waist drawstring, which I think is really great. It's a size medium. It has faux fur trim on the hood, and it's just like in excellent, excellent condition. And I've, of course, have been having really good luck with these types of puffer coats or parkas recently, and so I wanted to go ahead and try this brand out because I don't have any experience with it. I'm excited to see how that one does, but I came across so many brands in the thrift store this time around that I was unfamiliar with, but just seemed like they were high quality. And then the tag also had different markers that indicated that it may retail for more money. A lot of the brands I didn't end up picking up either because there just wasn't enough brand awareness in the United States for it, or it was saturated on Poshmark. It just didn't really have a good resale value. But I really encourage y'all to always be looking up brands that you come across in the thrift store that you're not familiar with, but look like they may be high quality. It's just, as a reseller, you have to always, always, always be learning and being dedicated to growth, dedicated to an increase in knowledge. That journey, that requirement never ends. I'm always learning. Next up is this sweater, which is by the brand Eileen Fisher. I'm kind of all over the place with Eileen Fisher these days. Sometimes when I pick it up, it does really well. Sometimes it sits for a long time. But this piece I really wanted to try out because it's this chenille fabric, which is just that really soft knit in this stripe. And it's just an oversized tunic style sweater with this high-low hem. I think it's so flattering, so comfy. And, you know, I've been selling a lot of things like Barefoot Dreams, which is a really soft sweater brand, and it has been doing really well, and I thought this would perform similarly in the same vein since it is this really soft, almost loungewear type piece. So, okay, this is my second time thrifting this brand. I'm definitely sending it into the Rail because last time I found it, I sent it into the Rail, and it was actually my best performing piece that I've ever sent there. But it was a coat last time, but this is Philosophy di Alberta Ferretti. Probably butchering that, but y'all get the gist. And this garment is just, wow, spectacular in its construction. It's just stunning. It's got all of these beads on the front, and then it's got this beaded collar, and then it's got this mesh cutout on the back. It's probably an older piece, so I'll be interested to see how it does, but they didn't have it priced up at all. And so I definitely thought it was worth sending to the Rail and trying out. This is a brand that they accept. So we will see. As I said in a video recently, black is like the worst performing color on the Rail, but I still think I want to try it out. So, you know, it'll be a learning lesson for all of us. Next is a brand I rarely pick up, but I wanted to in this case. This is Urban Outfitters, and it was new at tag. I actually came across 2 or 3 new tag Urban Outfitters pieces. As you can see, it retailed for $69, and it's just this really cute, simple button front shirt dress. Very vintage, 90s inspired silhouette and print. And yeah, cute. Little bit of gathering on the shoulders there, which is of course on trend. And comps look good enough. Urban Outfitters is one that I think if you pick the right piece, it sells really quickly. But of course there's just so much Urban Outfitters out there. It's hard to know what to pick up. But when I see newer styles with new tag, then it definitely stops me in my tracks and I'm more willing to look it up. Okay, the next is a brand that again can be hit or miss, but I definitely wanted to go ahead and try it out. This is Show Me Your Moo. This is a size large, and this is their iconic Kindle dress, which has this deep V-neck and then also a V cutout on the back as well that goes even deeper. It also has a front slit. This is in the color C-Class, I think. It's a bright kind of blue color. And this is a dress that is often worn as a bridesmaid's dress. It can be even worn as, you know, a homecoming or prom dress or something like that. And it performs fairly well on Poshmark. I don't think it performs as well as it used to, but I think it's worth trying out if you get it for the right price for sure. They actually had another Kindle dress in this kind of taupe color that just had stains on it, like little small stains all over. So I decided to leave that one behind, but I did pick up this one. And that just kind of leads me to a point that it's not just brand that you're looking for, it's really the 4 things: brand, style, condition, and then most importantly, demand. What's the resale value? What is the demand for this item on Poshmark? Because even if you knock it out of the park with those 3, the demand still just couldn't be there. So you always want to look for each 4 of those things. Okay, and then in a similar vein, I got this Lulu's dress. This is also a brand that can be hit or miss. This was new with tags, and I thought this was just gorgeous, and it was half off, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. But it is this long sleeve surplus neckline maxi dress, and surplus neckline just means it kind of has this faux wrap front, and it's in this magenta, like palm fronds and flower print, which I just thought was really, really gorgeous. So decided to go ahead and try this out. This particular style is called the Wondrous Water Lilies maxi dress, and I found that with a little bit of digging, but typically I can find Lulu's listings and style names really easy, so that's also another reason why I tend to pick up Lulu's and I like selling it. Okay, and that brings me to my very last piece, my favorite thrift find in the past year, easily. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just love this brand. It's another brand that again is on my 50 BOLO brand list. And it is dun, da, da, Layla Johnson. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is my favorite designer. And this is a stunning purple floral dress. Y'all, I said it in my car, but this I got for $6.99. This dress retails for $595. It is called the Katarina dress. It has this really pretty asymmetric hem that kind of makes you just look like a goddess floating. And if you look at the end of the fabric, they've done this really interesting stitch. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. All these little details, you know, the little gold button closure on the back, the waist tie, the ruffle front. It's just, oh, and I just love the purple and this white and blue. But anyways, it's a size 4, which is kind of my size. And so if it doesn't sell quickly for a good amount of money, I might pull it from my inventory if I have any reason to wear it, because it's just absolutely gorgeous and in pristine condition. So it's my little baby Katarina dress in the color Iris. My favorite thrift find. I'll probably list it around like $175. But oh, I literally like almost fainted when I found it. I just started sweating out of every pore, and I was like, is this really happening right now? I'm so dramatic. But That's what makes it fun, right? At least for me. And so yeah, I was so excited to find Layla Johnson finally in the thrift store. I hope it's not the last time I find it in the thrift store in 2021, but I'm just so grateful that I found it. Okay, well, that is the thrift haul. That is the video. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all had fun along with me. Let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite piece. Ooh, or you can tell me your favorite piece from the haul, but also I would love to know, because this was my favorite thrift find as of recent or as of ever. Tell me what your favorite thrift find as of recent has been. Okay, well, that is it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. Love y'all so much. Bye! Y'all love thrift hauls though, because I actually have other thrift hauls that you can watch. I'll link them up on the screen. I love creating thrift hauls. I'm planning on doing a bunch of them this year. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this YouTube channel, giving this video a thumbs up, and then I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, bye!